All right, so we are finishing our Unit 6 review for our test. This next question says the sales tax rate is 7.5%. Find the tax paid for a pair of boots with a list price of $99. So if we want to deal with sales tax, the first thing we do, I'll make some steps here, is we convert the percent to a decimal. So we're going to take our 75% and we're going to move the decimal 2 times, so it's going to become 0.75. The second thing we do is we multiply that decimal by the total, or the list price. So we're going to take our $99 and we're going to multiply it by 0.75. Wait, I put the decimal in the wrong place there. This would be 0.075. So $7.43 if we round it, because remember this 5 back here is going to make the 2 go up to a 3. So $7.43. Okay, that is the total tax paid, $7.43. That's the amount of tax. But we also want to find the total cost of the boots. And this is usually the last step here. So I'm just going to kind of write it as step 3. You're going to take the tax and the list price and you're going to add those together. So add the list price plus the tax. So we're going to do $99 plus $7.43, and that's going to give us the total. I said 93, I meant 99. So you can add those in your calculator or your brain. I'll just go ahead and show you the calculator. 99 plus, oh, I forgot it, 7.43. That's going to be $106.43. So if you want to buy boots for $99, you can't walk up to the check or the cash register with $100 because you got to pay tax too. All right, Frank is a salesperson in a jewelry store and earns $100 per week plus 15% of his weekly sales. All right, if he made $625 in a week, that's the total. What are his sales of the week? Now remember, when you read a question like this, it's not going to give you this formula. But if I were you, I would take your scratch paper and at the very beginning of the test, write this formula down because you're going to be using it over and over and over and over again. So let's go ahead and plug things in where we know. I always like to start with the percent. So we have 15% over 100. Now we got to be really careful about the other part here. He makes $625 total, but he gets $100 just for showing up. So we're going to take this $625 and we're going to subtract off $100. That tells me that he is making $525 in commission. Commission is a word that you hear a lot in the workforce. $100 is just his salary. He makes that every week whether he sells something or not. But then he also made $525 off of his weekly sales. And so that's actually what we're using when we plug it in over here. This is a pretty tricky problem. But if he makes $625 total, subtract off that 100 to see how much he made total off of his sales. So he made $525 off of his sales. I just put that in the wrong spot. Let me erase this. 525 is actually the part of the sales. That's how much he made off the sales. But our job here is to find what are his total sales for the week. So that's what we don't know. We don't know the total sales. He made $525, but we don't know how much money he sold in all. So let's go ahead and cross multiply. 15 times X equals 525 times 100, which remember you can just write 525 and then put 2 zeros there. Divide each side by 15. And that means that he ended up selling $3,500 worth of jewelry. So what are his sales for the week? He sold a total of $3,500 of jewelry, which is how he got his commission. So let me just kind of go back over that one because that one was tricky. You take the total that he made in a week, you subtract off the $100. This is how much he earned off the sales. So that's his part of the sales. So we put that on top for part. We don't know the total number or the total value of the sales. That's what we're trying to solve for. But we know he gets 15%. And so out of 100, cross multiply and solve it. The owner of an electronics store receives a shipment of gaming controllers at a cost of $39.50 each. If he sells the controllers for $49.99 each, what is the percent markup? Round to the nearest whole percent. So again, it's not going to tell us to use this formula, but we just need to know to use it. So let's go ahead and set it up. You know, I usually like to put percent in first, but in this case, we don't know the percent. So I'm going to put a P over 100, and then I'm going to ask myself, what's the part and what's the whole? Be really, really, really careful with a markup or a markdown. The part is not the smaller number. The whole is still the total, the bigger number, $49.99, but the part, you have to subtract those two to figure out the part. So you have to take $49.99 and you have to subtract off $39.50. So the part here, the amount that changed or the markup is actually $10.49. So the part is tricky when you're doing a markup or markdown, so be really careful about that. You have to subtract to find the part. And then we will cross multiply. $49.99 times percent equals $10.49 times 100, which just makes it this without the decimal. We move the decimal back 2 times. Or you can do that in calculator if you didn't catch that shortcut. And then we're going to divide each side by $49.99. Let's go do that in our calculator. And it's 20.98. So that's percent. So the percent markup, he marked it up about 21%. Oh, it says round to the nearest whole percent. So he marked it up about 21% so that he could make some profit off of it. And that's it, guys. You have got it. I want to tell you something very important. Don't close it yet. If you send us a webmail of what this last screen is about, you can just put encouragement or whatever. Then you will get 5 points added to your test grade just for watching the whole review. So if you watched part 1 and you watched part 2, send us a webmail that says, and you can just put encouragement or peppermint or whatever, you've got this, just something that lets us know that you got to this last little meme, and we will go in after you take the test and we will add in 5 points to your test in Connexus. So thank you for watching the whole review. Make sure you webmail us with encouragement or whatever you want to call this meme so that we know to add 5 points to your test grade just for watching. All right, y'all, have a good day and go take your test.